Hey everyone, thanks for joining the Growth Mindset podcast. As you know, I'm your host, Coach Dave March here, author of the book Vision in Action, as well as career coach, business coach, and leadership coach to some. And every week here we have a new guest, and the special guest is someone that is very interesting to me as well, since all of you know I'm very much into medicinal herbs, health, also mangoes. Our special guest today is Jay Hunter. Jay is the CRO of Mary Ruth. Jay, why don't you introduce yourself and the company?
Yeah, great to be here. I'm Jay, Chief Revenue Officer at Mary Ruth. We're a vitamin supplement company, primarily specializing in everyday wellness for every life stage, right? We've got products for our infants all the way up to 40 plus, and everywhere in between. I think for us, it's really like Mary Ruth's mission and really our company tagline is, to move forward every day, and we want to help people do that. So I've been with the company, about 5 years, almost a couple years consulting before that. So I've been with them a long time. It's been a great ride. So
Totally, and I'm a big fan. I got something right here. It's good
I
stuff.
love it.
Yeah, and so totally, tell us a little about your story, because I think that's going to be exciting. We talked a little bit about you being one of the first employees there, so tell us a little bit more about that, and then let's go from there.
Yeah. One of the early employees, maybe employee five or six, somewhere around there. But been with the company for a while. I originally started just doing some consulting. So I used to be an Amazon advertising consultant. I would come in and help your brands just run better ads on Amazon. I used to do that for Mary Roos for about a year and a half or so. And then David, who's Mary's husband, he found me and he was like, "Hey Jay, I need someone to run my Amazon store, full time, all the bells and whistles of it." And I said, "Great, I'll do that." And since then I've inherited quite a bit more responsibility now. But I've really grown. Right, I started just myself, then it was myself and two team members, and now today I have about 50 people in my part of the organization. With about 9 direct reports. So really got to build the team from scratch, which I just think is just very unique and also very fun. And I had to learn a lot along the way, just about how to be a better leader, how to lead people, how to inspire them. So very grateful that I got to be here because I got to do all those things.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. And, talking about being a great leader, it's something that we aren't really taught in school for sure. And, if we follow what we see on TV, most likely you're just going to turn to a gangster. Because most of the stuff on TV is just fear-based leadership. It's like, if you don't do this and that, you'll be swimming with the fishes, So, as you kind of grew in your leadership capacities and such, was there particular books that you read, or what was the journey like to learn about how to lead, motivate people the right way?
Yeah, I mean, I think, uh, I've been very fortunate, I think, to have like some great leaders myself, right? So I got to learn a lot from them. I'm big on not reinventing the wheel, just taking a great idea and trying to make it my own and maybe even make it a little bit better if I can. Mary Ruth, she's the CEO of the company. She's a real person. Like she's just an inspiring leader, like herself, right? Just like her story and how much she's persevered through. Like for me, it's always just felt great, working for her. She gives so much encouragement. Like she's just a great, encouraging, inspiring person. So I think I don't like inspire people and draw from her. That part's been super easy. I think the more difficult part is like, how you push employees to be better, but like in the right kind of way, right? Like how you help them level up, how you help them take accountability, how you help teach them how to take care of other employees. I think those are the hardest things to learn. We have a private equity partner at Mary Roos called Butterfly Equity, and sort of their partner operator is a guy, Derek Perel. He's, one of the greatest leaders I've ever seen. So I've been very fortunate to learn a lot of skills from him. And he's had like a long, illustrious career. So he's picked them up too. But, just like how to lead, like something I do, I think for my team that's sort of unique and impactful that I learned from him is like, I do quarterly sprints for each of my directors, right? And I hope this is something that they pass down as well. But a sprint is something that moves the business forward in that quarter and also helps the employee build their resume or build a skill for their future resume, right? So sort of doing two things at once, pushing the business forward and pushing them forward to grow their career. And that's like something that now I do all the time that like, it's hard to think about yourself, right? It's something you got to kind of learn, but those are the things that really like excite me about the job, right? It's like empowering employees, helping them level up, helping them reach the next stage. And I think if you do that, generally the business moves along at the same speed. So
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, it's all about having a growth mindset.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you gotta give your people good guidance and support. And a lot of great leaders tell me that it's actually harder to be a bad leader. It takes a lot more effort to be a bad leader.
I would say that's true for sure. Yeah. You got to do a
Yeah.
lot more things yourself. If you don't know how to empower, don't know how to delegate, you're very unlikely to get off the computer yourself. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and because that actually comes up a lot. I mean, there's some people that are like hoard work because they just feel like if I don't do it myself, it's never going to get done the right way. And so that it could be a trust thing, could be that they don't believe in the capability of the people. But at the end of the day, it's always like, if those are true, why did you hire them?
100%. Yeah.
So there's good leadership techniques, good things that you can just learn through that. And as you went from where you were to now leading 50 people, is there any kind of challenges that came up along the way? Was there any kind of like things that you've learned in your through that?
Yeah. There's been many challenges for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think like, something I learned, a little bit about hiring, a little bit about leadership, right? Is like, these days, like two of the most important traits that I hire for are really like grit and hustle, right? Like I strongly believe that, most jobs, especially in sort of the e-com marketing world where like everything's changing, every 3 or 4 months, like most jobs can be taught if someone is like really committed to learning it and they want to do a good job, right? So I think something I learned is like just making, I more care about like, will someone work hard and are they a good culture fit than I do like, are they a pro in this position or have they done the job for 10 years? I think that was a challenge that I didn't understand in my early career and I'm learning a lot more now. I also think like, I mean, you need to teach employees like why their work is impactful or why, I think as a leader, it's like your job to teach employees or help them understand like, why are they doing this work and why is it impactful or why does it matter to the business? And if you as a leader can't answer the question, like sometimes that'll make you realize that employee probably shouldn't be doing that work. Maybe we shouldn't work on that project. So I think those things are like, probably two of the big challenges that I didn't understand early on that I've learned now is like, like these days I try to send like a weekly update to the team, like, hey, we're working on these projects and this is why we're working on them. And I think that's just become like a lot more helpful.
Love that. Love that. A couple things come to mind, right? Of course, Simon Sinek's Start With Why. Right, that's always a good starting point.
100%.
He's got some great information there, but I really like the idea of the fact that you hire for more of these human skills, these soft skills, if you will. I mean, that's so important, more and more now than ever before. And in recruiting, that's really the main thing, right? I mean, technical skills, the hard skills, those can be taught. If you don't know how to use a specific function within e-commerce, I can show you how to do it. I mean, it's not
Sure.
not that difficult. But are
Yeah.
you going to be determined? That you're going to have the grit? Are you going to have the hustle to just keep on going no matter what?
Yep.
That's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
I mean, I think, it's a famous quote, right? But Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. I tell you right now, like in e-com and marketing, you get punched in the face a lot, right? So there's always going to be problems. Nothing ever goes exactly as you think it's going to go. You have to be ready to problem solve. It's like one of the number one things. And I'm okay if someone's like, hey, I don't know what the solution is. I need help. That's also great too, right? But you got to either know how to solve problems or ask for help when you don't know how to solve problems. I think like those are definitely some of the most important traits for sure.
Yeah, and you also touch upon another important trait now more than ever is that kind of vulnerability of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I need some help. Like a lot of people can get caught up in this like arrogance, if you will, of I know everything. And it's like, especially in today's world, when like new stuff is coming out every day. Like if you're in like AI and into that stuff, you're like, you can't know it all. I mean, then tomorrow's a brand new thing. It's like, so you have to be like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me?
You have to be curious and you have to be, transparent about being curious, and that's okay.
Totally, I totally agree. You know, I'd like to go into some of the supplements and some of the things that you got going on in Mary Roots,
Sure.
because I'm obviously interested in that, and I'm into these things myself. What is the main thing that you're really I'm gonna say pushing right now, or like like what are the priority or one of the latest initiatives that you got going on there?
Yeah, I think there's a lot for us. Like, we like to be innovators in the space. We have a great partnership with Whole Foods Market where we're like together. Really try to bring some good innovation to the category. It's I would say it's a complicated, sometimes scary category for consumers. Like, what health products should I take is like a tough question to answer sometimes. For us, we always prioritize health for the whole family. We have like our original morning multivitamin that's really good for all ages, and it's a liquid format. So, even kids under 4 can take it, right? Because it's not a gummy. It's a little bit easier to swallow. And so for us, like liquid vitamins is like our sort of what we're known for, how we came up in the industry. We do have 2 new products that are a little bit, they're general wellness, but I would say they land in what I call like a new space for health, which is beauty from within. And so like our 2 hottest products today, and like they're doing quite well, is we have that original morning multivitamin product, but now it has plus hair growth. So it has like some clinically studied ingredients to help grow your hair in as few as 3 weeks. And so that product's been really great. And then we have a new product that's sort of like the complementary version, which is we have a nighttime product that's a multi-mineral. So you can get all your vitamins in the morning and your minerals at night. And that nighttime product now has a clinically studied skin benefit. So it's got what we call Skin Renew, and it has some like great benefits for the skin. So we're trying to build some of the everyday health and wellness, but also some of the beauty from within stuff that I think just, a lot of people are interested in now today. And that's been going great. Those are like 2 of our best tasting products too. I think we're really big on taste. And the new flavors that we have coming out, the hair one comes now in like a dragon fruit melon, which really tastes delicious. Our best-selling version of the product, though, it comes in peach mango. So that one's really great.
The
And I know you love
mangoes.
mangoes. Yeah.
I was about to say,
And then, yeah,
is there any mango flavors? That's what I want to know. Is
yeah,
there
that's
any
our
mango
number one
flavors?
selling product at this company by far is our morning multivitamin plus hair growth peach mango flavor. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. I also hear that mangoes are good for hair growth too. That's what I
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yes. I
So
didn't I didn't fact check any of my bullets here with compliance, but I have heard people love mango for hair growth for sure.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, mango flavors. I mean, it's the king of fruits. Who doesn't like mangoes? It's like
The king of fruits. I love it. Yeah, I agree.
so. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. Um, when it comes to minerals, I definitely think that that is a thing that we need to work on in America in general. The minerals should come from our soil, and our soils are not really mineral rich anymore. So, I mean, that's why we're trying to get more into like regenerative agriculture and these type of things. I think that, in terms of being demineralized, it's one of the challenges. I think in the diet of Americans right now. Do you have anything to add about that?
No, I think for us, we never pitch any of our products as like a food replacement, right? Like nothing's better for your health than a good diet for sure. We always say our products are complementary to that, but I do think we're coming out with a bit more mineral products because we do, we see sort of the same trends, right? There's a bit of a deficiency there, so we want to support where we can. I think it is tough, like you said, right? Like the soil is just not as mineral rich as it once was. Almost too much pollution for it. So
Yeah. That's definitely a challenge in there. I mean, if you go to like museums and such, you can see how roots used to go very deep in some of the plants that we used to cultivate years ago, and now they're not going as deep. And if you watch some documentaries, they would say that a lot of our life is dependent on a small, thin layer of topsoil that's getting depleted over the years. So yeah, it's definitely something. Speaking of minerals and everything, have you ever heard of this thing called shilajit? I think it's called.
yes, yeah, we don't have a product for it today, but yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah, that's like supposed to be the best thing. It's like a mountain ooze.
Mountain News, I love it.
It's like, what could be more mineral?
Yeah.
So that's really cool in terms of minerals. You guys work with any kind of medicinal plants lately? Kind of going more into, I know like for this supplement I have here, 7-in-1, you got the elderberries. So those are definitely, elderberries are always been good for, immune system support and winter support if you have any colds and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just in general, like our herbal line of products has been growing, right? We have like, and again, we're doing a lot of like liquid herbals, which we're really big on. But like echinacea, oil of oregano, even is like a really big selling product for us. Actually, it's like got like a strong taste to it, so it's a little hard to adapt to, but it's doing great. We have like a chlorophyll product that does really good. Like yarrow leaf, thyme
Yeah.
leaf, a number of these products. So we are expanding our herbal selection. I think that actually we got a little bit of a push from, we're in a number of retailers, but hopefully there's been a great partner on the innovation front, and they pushed us a little bit more on like what other herbals can we come out with. So I think we just, we keep thinking of new ones, right? Turmeric,
Hmm.
rhodiola, right? Like just a number of these, I think. And
Yeah.
we like them. I think customers like them too. They're a little bit harder to get the flavor really, really good, like the other multivitamins, but I think people know why they want to take these or what they need. And so they're a little bit more okay with that.
Yeah. You just add some mango to it. It's fine.
Add some mango to it. I love it.
It's almost like I was just thinking about that just now. You ever see like My Big Fat Greek Wedding? It's like, yeah, put some Windex on it. Put some Windex on it. Oh man. But yeah, that's really cool. I think that the idea that you're expanding to more of the herbals, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Over time, I think that people are more focused on their health, and they're wanting to find more of these liquid supplements and things like that. I've always liked the liquid supplements myself because they're more absorbable by the body. They assimilate more with the body, so it's more bioavailable. Is that what you find as well? Is that why your company works more with the liquid?
I mean, for us, we really love that we can generally make the flavor great. I think for us, that's one of the most important pieces, right? Because we want people, we know that it's hard for people to stick to their routine, right? So like we like to make the product taste good because it's a little bit easier to stick to a routine. I think the science is still, in the middle on like, is it 100%? Is it a lot more absorbable, right? Or significantly enough more absorbable? I think it's faster to absorb, right? But I think ultimately you sort of absorb the vitamins the same. And I think for us, like we want to do something different. Like, a lot of people have a lot of gummies or a lot of capsules. And we do some gummy products and capsule products too, but we just wanted to provide like a different format to consumers. And I think that's sort of why we started. And now for us, like we're always liquid first. If we think we can make a product in a liquid format, we can. We will. Some products are tough. Like we just tried to make a liquid creatine product, right? Because creatine's a little bit more on the rise for just lifestyle support. But that was very, very hard, near impossible to make. So I don't think we're going to be able to come out with liquids for that one. But we always think the liquid first when we're trying to make new products for sure.
Awesome, awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's great. I've always liked the liquids myself. As you talked about, I make my own herbal tinctures, which are liquid as well. So that's really exciting stuff. Yeah. So as we kind of get to the end of this podcast episodes, I usually like to get these about 20 minutes. Is there any other, words of wisdom, maybe some things that come to mind about, growing this company? Now it's at 30 employees and you guys are growing rapidly. Any words of wisdom you can share about the business growth?
Words of wisdom. I would say, I mean, look, this is going to sound very basic, but I would just say, treat people nicely, fairly, with empathy, right? Like everyone generally is trying their hardest, right? And so
Yeah.
I think like, if you want to be a great leader, you got to be willing. There's a great book, Leaders Eat Last, but I
Yeah.
think like you have to really, you really have to, if you want to be a great leader, I think you have to have a little bit of a servant leadership mentality, right? And you just got to make sure you're taking care of people and you're helping them grow. You're helping them achieve like their dreams, not just, the company's goals or dreams, right? So I think that's the advice I would give. Yeah,
Yeah, Simon Sinek really has some of the best books on leadership. I think that's one of
for
them
sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much to Jay here for joining us for this episode of the Growth Mindset podcast. If someone wants to reach out and they want to find out more about you or the products that you offer there at Mary Ruth, what's the best way that they can find you?
Yeah, I think I recently did a post about this. Anyone can ever, can reach out to me anytime. LinkedIn's probably the best way, but I'm a big sharer, top competitor, friend, whoever. Like I'm happy to share any advice, any strategies that are working for us. Probably won't refer my best employees over, but otherwise, happy to help in any way I can. But yeah, just LinkedIn probably the best. Just reach out to me. I always connect with everyone.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jay. For now, have a great day, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye bye.